What if SpaceX never existed? Would humanity still reach for Mars? Introduction. What would the world be like if SpaceX had never existed? A space industry stuck in stagnation, no reusable rocket launches, no ambition for Mars colonization, and no bold leadership from one of the most visionary entrepreneurs of our time. Without SpaceX, would NASA have the drive to pursue more ambitious goals beyond Earth's orbit? Could private companies rise in an industry historically dominated by government agencies? Or would space exploration remain hindered by astronomical costs and a lack of innovation? Let's explore this alternate reality and see how it could have changed humanity's future in space. The space industry before SpaceX. Before SpaceX emerged, the space industry was controlled by government organizations and massive corporations operating under slow-moving, high-cost structures. Private companies had little room to grow due to the overwhelming financial barriers. NASA had relied on the Space Shuttle program for decades, but it was prohibitively expensive to maintain. After the program ended, the U.S. no longer had its own means of sending astronauts to space, forcing NASA to depend entirely on Russian Soyuz rockets at an exorbitant price per seat. With each launch costing hundreds of millions of dollars, space exploration lacked affordability and accessibility. Without a company willing to take risks to change this reality, the world may have remained confined to Earth's orbit with no major breakthroughs. No SpaceX, shocker, no reusable rockets. One of SpaceX's greatest contributions was proving that rockets could be reusable, significantly lowering costs and making spaceflight more accessible. This innovation spurred competition, pushing other companies to improve their technology. If SpaceX had never existed, advancements in rocket reusability might still be theoretical. The absence of competitive pressure would mean that spaceflight remained a privilege only available to governments and the wealthiest organizations. Without a private entity leading the charge, the development of new launch systems could have been delayed for decades. Government-backed projects would still proceed, but at a much slower pace and with little incentive to optimize efficiency. What would happen to Mars exploration? Mars colonization might still be just a distant dream without SpaceX. NASA's space exploration programs would continue, but without a private company driving aggressive innovation, ambitions to reach Mars would likely be postponed indefinitely. Without Starship, there would be no push to dramatically reduce the cost of transporting cargo and people across space. The prospect of establishing a sustainable presence on Mars might still be little more than a speculative idea rather than a concrete plan. The absence of a pioneering force could also slow down other nations' space ambitions. Countries like China and Russia might focus solely on lunar exploration, delaying the global race to Mars. Impact on satellite internet and other technologies beyond space travel. SpaceX has revolutionized global connectivity through its Starlink satellite system. Without this technology, millions of people in remote areas might still lack access to high-speed internet. Without competition from SpaceX, telecom companies might have little motivation to improve services or lower costs. Advances in AI, battery technology, and renewable energy could also be hindered, as many of these fields have benefited indirectly from SpaceX's innovations. Where would humanity stand without SpaceX? Without SpaceX, humanity's progress in space exploration could be decades behind. The lack of cost-cutting incentives, the absence of a strong push toward interplanetary travel, and the dominance of a bureaucratic approach to spaceflight could have left us far from the advancements we see today. With no competitive pressure, the industry might have been slower to innovate, affecting not just space exploration, but a wide range of related technologies. While another company might eventually step in to fill the void, the question remains, would anyone else have taken the risks and made the bold moves that Elon Musk and SpaceX did? What do you think? If SpaceX had never existed, would we have found another way to reach Mars? Or would humanity still be stuck on Earth, lacking the motivation to venture further? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next exciting alternate history video. Blast off.